So here's the camera setup on the Xiaomi Mi 11 Pro mode, which have all these kind of different settings, you know, from a normal camera. If you are a pro, you can adjust the ISO levels, white balance, different stuff. So I'm just not going to go through those, but I will show you the last setting here. It just has so many features, this one. And I can just translate them for you so you can have an idea of what your choices are. It says night mode, 108 megapixel, Ultra HD activated, it's set right there. Let's just see if, yeah, well, that's just if you want to make sure that you're absolutely using the 108 megapixel sensor without any sort of compression afterwards. Short video, it says, it's like that live video function. I don't know really what you want to use that for. Panorama, of course. Documents, I don't know what that is or what you want to use that for. Okay, so it's like a scanning function, of course, yeah. You can choose it's black, white, and you can choose different sort of scanning options and settings here, of course, okay. Yeah. Just gonna go through those because I suspect you'll be mostly interested in the Xiaomi Mi 11. Then it's got the V-Vlog. Let's test that out. What is that? Okay, let's see. It's like if you're like an active vlogger, you want to like be vlogging with the, you know, you can see it says the maps with the location put on. I'm not in agreement right now. Of course, you can choose slow motion. Then there's the delay if you want to have the countdown shutter, the countdown before you take the picture. Then there's movie effects, long exposure. It says, don't really know what that would be about. Oh, okay. So you can choose like, okay, use a tripod. It says, but then of course you can record the stars, star trails of cars driving. So that's just a long exposure time. Okay, let's just see what more we got. Then there was let's just try the cinema effects. Freeze time. Parallel worlds. Oh, that's so cute. Ooh, yeah, that would be pretty cute. Let's just try this out. Oh my god, my Navia cream box. Oh no, let's get 2 of those. Yeah, can we just get 2 of those? Can we go for, yeah. Okay. Magical zoom. Let's try that. Magical zoom. You gotta work it out for yourself. Super moon. I just tried filming the moon on this phone. Double video. That's very cute because then it's me and the little iPhone and then Navia cream. What is that called? Cream in English. What is that called actually in English? It's the hand moisturizer, right? So okay, let's just talk you through right the end of these guys. And there's a clone feature. I haven't quite found out how that works yet because you have to have an objective. Then there's some edit button called edit. I don't know what that would be all about. Okay, so there I can choose to what options I want to have in my shortcuts menu here at the end. When you choose photos, you can choose between HDR on, HDR automatic, and HDR. HDR automatic, that's the same as you have in Samsung. It also guesses itself whether you want to use HDR on an object or not. So now we're in photo mode. Let's just see artificial intelligence turn on in photo mode. What else do we have? Yeah, of course we have all these kind of, you know, different filters we can choose from. And then you have the lens. You can objectify and use Google, of course. What else do we have? Yeah, we have, of course, flash on, off, and automatic and stuff. Actually, you can only choose between 2. in this format. And then you have 1080p, also only 2. And okay, so in 720p you can only choose 30 frames per second. Okay, but what I want to show you is that when you choose 8K, you can choose 24 frames per second and 30 frames per second, but you cannot choose 60 frames per second. Oh my. And just another thing, if you want to use artificial intelligence, this one, it pumps it down to 1080p at 30 frames per second and also 720p at 30 frames per second. And it goes the same with the follow an object in motion. It's actually, this is completely locked to 1080p 30 frames per second. And you can also actually film in macro mode. Then it pumps it down to 1080p 30 frames per second or 720 30 frames per second. That is the only 2 choices you get for that. And let's just record. This is an ordinary pen. Let's just make a video recording of that. Then you can see how close you actually can get it. I'm about, I would say, an inch away from the object, the pen. It's pretty neat because it reminds me, like, of course, like biology class and something, when you put something under the microscope. You can really see what's on the pen. You can't go, you really don't have that much swivel or headway, I don't know what it's called, travel. Because it's like within like a centimeter or something, you can move the camera up and down to keep focus on the different things. Oh, you can see it has some scratches. But that's a pretty neat feature, actually. You can record video in macro. Okay, and you can choose from 3 different stabilization modes on the Xiaomi Mi 11. I'm just going to show you. This is the standard one. It's always on, okay? And then there is this one, where it sort of crops the pages. Please take notice of that again. So you have the standard one. And then, of course, it uses optical image stabilization for sure, because then it crops the page a little bit. But then it has a third one, which is called Pro. And the Pro one makes it even bigger than the standard one. And that is what I would suspect and assume means that it's using the ultra wide lens. And one last thing I'm just going to show you with the settings menu is that there's these kind of filters you can press, these 3 dots in the top. And if you press them, of course, you can choose like sort of different lighting styles to be added to your video. But of course, if you're any kind of a serious photographer, you add these kind of effects afterwards in your video. Or perhaps I'm just old-fashioned. And then just the last couple of things you can do. That is, of course, the guidelines. You can choose on or off. And this is if you want to frame your shot. This one, and this is just settings. Okay. So that definitely concludes the Xiaomi Mi 11 photo menu walkthrough. Hope you enjoyed it.